Hey guys, I just wanted to come on here and share my experience with Serena Surgical Services. I traveled to Dominican, Santo Domingo, about a month ago in the end of September. And I didn't see many reviews on this place, so I'm going to give my honest review. So I noticed that the owner had really bad communication. She didn't let us know when our appointments are. We'd find out like half an hour before, like, oh, get ready, we're leaving, or you're leaving, the taxi will be there. I didn't really like that. I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't. The nurses don't speak English. Totally false advertisement that they do, they don't. The nurses, they checked my vitals maybe twice a day. They did their job. But they don't speak English. And when you go overseas, we expect some English. And I know there's Google Translate, but that doesn't help, especially if you're in an emergency situation. The third thing is the food. The food was pasta like 6 times a week, the same stewed beef with rice and lettuce and tomato. Lettuce and tomato the next day. Lettuce and tomato. There are other ways of getting protein in after our surgery, which is important. And that was our only form of protein. And we all just started Uber eating because we were just getting so sick of the food. And we even offered options of like, maybe you can switch to like beans. Could you use like a different way of cooking? Nope, she doesn't care. She just wants your money and doesn't want to make sure that you have the best diet after. And which, unfortunately, for all the women recovering, is not good for us because we need protein to heal. So, yeah, also the nurses did forget my medication sometimes. I was like, can I have my piece of paper to see what medication I need? And they're like, no speak. I'm like, okay. So there was that. So she tried to rip me off with the doctor. The doctor decided that it was unsafe to go on with 3 procedures, so she did 2. So when I asked the owner of this home, recovery home, hi, do I get a refund on that? She said no. So then it was a few days later that my doctor had given me money back and this said, this is for the surgery that I couldn't perform. And I go, well, I was told that I wasn't getting that. So indeed, what I found out was really she was trying to take the money for herself and act like she gave it to me had the doctor not given it to me in my hand. So that's a ripoff. That's using people. And I don't believe that you should use people. Also, so I paid, my doctor told me 3 weeks instead of 2 that I'd be there. So I paid up front for the extra week. So I paid my 2 weeks and then the 3rd week for the extra 7 days to hold my spot. And then I realized after about a week that my doctor said, you don't need 3 weeks, you need 2. So I said to the owner of the recovery house, Miss Cherry, hi, if you have people that want their next days, my room's totally open, I'm going to leave early. She goes, yes, you'll get your refund. I asked a week later, okay, at that point she said, yes, you're gonna get your refund once you get back to Canada. I'm gonna send it through Western Union. She's lying, obviously. I said, you know what? I'm not going to argue while I'm recovering in this care. And so I get home and I'm like, let's see if it happens. I text her, no response. Text her, let me check with my accountant. Biggest ripoff. And I mean, like, it's one thing to steal money from people or just try to rip people off. I think that's really disgusting, especially how she makes herself sound like a good and look like a good person and she really cares. She doesn't care. Let me just say it. She doesn't care. It's all about money. The reason I went with her was because she spoke English. She won't text you back when you're there. You're going to get lucky to get a response after a day or 2. So it's not even worth it. And I wish that I had seen more reviews on her because there was none. So that's why I'm like, I should probably put something out there so that people can decide that if this is okay with them, like, go proceed. Like, it was clean. My room was clean. I didn't get sick off the food. Like, there were good things, but these were some of the things that I wish I was aware of. So then I would notice that she listens over the camera because she'll come in with a negative attitude and be like, I heard you said my cake was stale. Well, there was an issue about her donuts being stale there, and they were stale. And she was fighting with one of the women that told her they are stale. Like, we're not trying to eat this. So then I'm like, where did she even get this from? And I'm like, oh, she sits at home and listens to the camera. So not only is she on Instagram trying to market herself, she's listening to the cameras and what's going on. And she comes in with a really bad vibe, negative atmosphere. And she started yelling at one of the girls, and we're all trying to recover. I don't know. Well, I do know, but it's not my business on why her and another girl were arguing in there. Completely not my business, but we're all trying, there's 2 or 3 of us trying to recover, and we don't really want to be a part of it. And she would just bring this nasty vibe and attitude, and I'm like, how is this woman surviving, making, like fooling everybody? Like, she's a bad freaking person. I don't condone that either. So yeah, she'll listen over the camera. So if you like make a friend in the recovery room, in the recovery home, and you're like, pasta or spaghetti again, she's going to hear you. She's going to come back and she's going to be like, oh, spaghetti again? What's wrong with that? Okay. So also I noticed that she put hospital beds as, that she had for recovery. She had absolutely no hospital bed when I was there. Completely false advertisement. She probably just got a hospital bed, put it on her Instagram to show you guys that you're set. And I know, like, for me, it didn't really bother me that much. But I know for the other girls who had different procedures, they were like, we are really uncomfortable. So I'm not here to speak for anybody, like I said. But I think for some girls that might be uncomfortable. So then lastly, when I asked for my refund the last time, I'm like, listen, am I getting my refund or am I not? She got really personal. So I had no issues when I was there. I kept my mouth shut, didn't say a word, because at the end of the day, she cut off somebody's massages that I was with for speaking up about her donuts that were stale. Cut her massages off. Okay, I don't want to get the worst care ever while I'm down there after a surgery, because it's in her control to say who cannot eat, who can and cannot get their massages. And since she's very spiteful and she like really intends to hurt people, she sent me a message, hey, love your review. And then she started going off on, you paid 14 days and then 7 days. It wasn't my fault that you left early, but her tongue was different for when I was there, and her tongue was different after. So why would you lie about that? So I have the messages there. Then I don't know how to post this. I'm really bad with this stuff. She proceeds to, you can pause it if you need. She proceeds to tell me to go suck a dick for $40. I was never making it personal, but okay. Okay, no problem. So she's just a mean person. I don't deal with mean girls. When we're in recovery, we don't want to deal with mean girls. I would never, if I wish I saw reviews on her before, I don't like that stuff. And so talk about when they changed our bedding and we noticed this. I don't know if you can see it. On our pillow that we sleep on. I don't want to sleep on a dirty pillow with blood all over it. I don't know what else is on there. So anyways, I had no infections. I went with Dr. Hunt. I loved her. She was amazing. I think that's it. I just want that women that travel overseas to really do their research like I thought I did. And I just wish everybody the best. And that's really all I had to say. Good luck, everybody.